If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Polo G dropped Hall of Fame back in June, and back then I reviewed the thing, and y'all know that I wasn't too much of a fan of it. I did admit that there were some bangers on there, but just in general, I thought that this project was way too generic. Polo G, I could listen to all of his old stuff and basically replace all the new songs, because in terms of style, in terms of him switching up his flows, his instrumentals a little, we didn't really see a whole lot of that. Not, to take credit away from some amazing storytelling tracks. For example, Bloody Canvas, he did really step up his storytelling and his pen game on that one a lot, so that is something that I was excited to see. But other than that, just the tracks on there, again, felt more like a playlist, than an album, and he was teasing this thing quite a bit, saying it's his best work and stuff like that. So I was a bit disappointed, but even back then we knew that there was a deluxe coming, and I thought that this was just gonna be like another deluxe that, artists just drop like a week after they drop their album, and I thought it was gonna have like 3, 4, 5 new tracks with maybe he said a little TJ feature or something like that, and I thought that was just gonna be it. But then this deluxe release dragged on for a bit, and it kind of became this infamous thing, and a lot of y'all were talking about this on our live streams, which, by the way, Sundays at 2 p.m. EST, you make sure to be there. Also, go join the Discord in the description. But a lot of y'all were talking about this, and it really got this kind of infamous status surrounding it, and we actually do have some hints as to when this is dropping, because it's looking like it's gonna drop very soon, still this month. And if you look at the calendar, this month only has 2 Fridays left that this could drop. So let's go over the hints that we have so far and what my expectations for this Hall of Fame Deluxe are. So the first, kind of hint that we have has been out there for quite some time. It's on Polo G's YouTube About page, which, if anyone ever checks there, which not a lot of people do because nobody's ever on the YouTube About page, but on there he has, of course, all of his socials, the email, IG, and all that. But then also it says Hall of Fame 2.0 Deluxe dropping October, and this has been in there since before October. Two things that I gotta say about this. First of all, of course, looking at the calendar, as I just said, we have 2 Fridays left in October, the 22nd, which is tomorrow, and the 29th, which is next week. And just judging from my kind of feeling, I guess it's gonna drop next week, because we still don't have an announcement, but there is some evidence that it might drop tomorrow. I'll go over that in a second, but I do think it's gonna drop on the 29th. Also note how he called this Hall of Fame 2.0 the Deluxe. So apparently he wants this not just to be the Hall of Fame and then Deluxe with like 3 new tracks like a lot of artists do, but he rather wants this to be like, actually a second part to Hall of Fame. So that might hint at us getting more tracks. I also like that he didn't drop this thing a week after his original album, which most artists do nowadays, but he rather did like a little baby and waited like 3 to 4 months before dropping the deluxe version of it. And then the tracks that are going to be on the deluxe going to have some more momentum than just a couple of more added tracks to squeeze some streams and sales out of the original album. So I like that. I like that he's waiting longer and that he's labeling it as Hall of Fame 2.0, because that hints at it not just being an extended playlist of the original one. Let's actually go over what he also said a couple of days ago. He tweeted on Twitter, obviously, that's where you tweet. He said, "Me and my boy Lil TJ linked up in Iraq last night, made some heat, deluxe ready for show for show." And this was on October 17th, so only 4 days ago. So if Lil TJ and Polo G linked up only 4 days ago, and they still want to put this thing on the deluxe, which he's saying by saying deluxe ready, then I don't think he's gonna drop it this week still, but rather on the 29th, just because you usually don't edit the track list of your upcoming release a couple of days before it drops, unless you're Kanye. So apparently there's a Lil TJ feature on here, which I like to see. They had they made some heat in the past, obviously. Both of them really blew up as kind of like this duo, so I like to see that again. And this also confirms a Lil TJ feature on the deluxe, even though Polo once said that he wants to go solo, no pun intended, on this thing for quite a few of the tracks. But apparently we're getting a Lil TJ feature on here. Now, also yesterday, which is probably the biggest announcement that we got so far, he posted on October 20th, Hall of Fame 2.0 on the way. And this to me could mean that it's dropping tomorrow on the 22nd, but it could also just mean next week. But since he posted that a day before, like on the Wednesday of the week that it could drop on Friday, that could also mean that. As to other news that we have about this thing, NLE Choppa, for example, tweeted, "Me and Polo G got some stuff on the way, I can't fake it." So apparently also NLE Choppa is gonna be on the Hall of Fame 2.0. Now, as Polo G once said in like a live stream, I think it was, he wants to do this deluxe mostly solo, but we already have 2 features confirmed, Lil TJ and NLE Choppa. So either he's kind of diverted from that solo going route, or there's actually going to be quite a few more than just, 3 to 4 to 5 tracks. Maybe we get like a little EP, like a 7, 8, 9 track EP as the 2.0. That would also play into the concept of this being a 2.0 and not just a deluxe. So that's kind of my theory on this, and that's what I think that, he's gonna do with this deluxe. We also have some unofficial track names for this thing, which is just judging from leaks. Y'all can go visit the Genius page for Hall of Fame 2.0. There's actually, it's not just a deluxe page, it's actually called Hall of Fame 2.0, and there are tracks on here like Heated Up, Smooth Criminal, Foreign Night, Young and Dumb, and Bad Habits. So that might be some of the tracks that we're going to see on here, but that is not confirmed yet at all. But that's like 5 tracks. I do think it's going to be more than 5 tracks though, because on here are not the Lil TJ and NLE Choppa features so far, and I think that those are definitely going to be on there. Otherwise, the 2 wouldn't have tweeted that. So that's everything we know about Polo G's Hall of Fame Deluxe. This has been in the making for quite some time. He's labeling it as a 2.0 version of his album Hall of Fame that dropped in June, and not just as the deluxe. That hints at it being somewhat of a bigger project other than just a normal deluxe version. We know Lil TJ and NLE Choppa are going to be on here for sure. He's been teasing this in his YouTube bio or about page. On Twitter, he just tweeted yesterday the 2.0 was on the way, so that's pretty cool, and all the other tweets that he did and composed. So that's everything we know about this so far, and I'm looking forward to this. I hope he can somewhat compensate for the lack of versatility or for the lack of interestingness that I had for the original project, and I do have some hopes for Polo G on this new deluxe. That is just my opinion, of course. As always, I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for the deluxe version of Hall of Fame or the 2.0 version? What do you think this all means with the 2.0 and him waiting so long? Do you think this is going to be like a little EP, or just a couple more tracks added that are not going to really add anything of value to the original project? All of that, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.